I ordered this. I ordered this to get here like a couple of days ago. Unfortunately, it only just arrived yesterday, and I wasn't here yesterday. I couldn't get out a very early review of it. So I'm just gonna unbox it now. I'm gonna show you guys what's in, what comes with it, because I've been doing that recently and I don't know why. I kind of like unboxing videos. I like watching them myself. So I thought, you know what? Let's unbox some stuff. And this is something that I was really surprised that I wanted this when I saw that it was coming out, because I sold my last one because I didn't use it much. But the reason I didn't use it much was because it was fiddly and annoying to use. It didn't provide what I wanted it to provide. Now really, if this was for work stuff, I'd be looking at the Ronin S. Not the SC, the S. But I've got this. This is the Xion Crane M2, and this is a gimbal for like tiny cameras. This is a gimbal for phones, GoPros, and point and shoots. But a lot of people seem to think that it works quite well with the Sony a6400. Now I don't have the Sony a6400, but the camera that has been with me for quite a while now that I really like for vlogging type stuff, for YouTube type stuff, is the one that I'm filming this shot up here with. It's the a6300. And the differences between that and the 6400 are minimal. And it's been a great camera, and it's worked for me for quite some time. This thing supposedly works quite well with this and a light lens, so I'm gonna see what it's like. I'm still gonna be renting the Ronin S because I like to use that one. I've rented it a couple of times. It's a great gimbal, but it's not something I just don't want to have to own one. Whereas because I don't use it very often, I won't use it very often. But something like this is gonna be great for taking around with me, for vlogging stuff, I quite like the case. The case is one of those like really similar to the DJI like Ronin and the Phantom 4 case, where it's like, it's not quite like a proper case, but it's not quite like I'm just gonna throw this phone away like, tomorrow. So this is a tiny gimbal. You can see the form factor on this. What can I put next to it? This is an iPhone 7 Plus versus that. It's such a small footprint, this now. I had the Crane V2, and as much as it was a fine enough gimbal, it worked with the Sony. I just didn't ever use it for work. So this one comes with a really nice phone mount. That's handy. It comes with a knob. You've got the actual gimbal itself, which locks, which is like anyone not putting locking on a gimbal now is frankly ridiculous. A little strap, the plate. They should all also come with like a little set down tripod, because these things are like essential. And the little cable, I'm liking that. I'm liking how little stuff there is. Probably won't need that. I carry a USB-C cable around with me all the time anyway. So it's looking good. Now I'm gonna put together a review on this, but I'm gonna put together a review on this in the form of like travel vlogging sort of starter set, because this is a really cheap gimbal as well. If it works well, this is gonna be one of my favorite things, because I do want those like nice, smooth gimbal shots. But what I don't want is to have to like carry around a massive extra box or strap something to the outside of my already heavy bag. This weighs hardly anything. I think it's really key to a travel setup that you can just get it out of the box. It's not going to weigh you down. It's not going to make your life really difficult. I've just bought a bag that I'm testing out as like a cheap camera bag for this kind of setup, with just like 2 lenses, an APS-C camera, Rode Video Micro, and a GorillaPod, and this. I think I can put together a kit that you can film beautiful travel videos with that doesn't destroy your bank account or your credit card. So I've given gimbals a little bit of a hard time over the last couple of years, and that's just because they're in such an infant state. The start of things looking up with the Weebill Lab and the DJI Ronin S. Up until that point, they were either good but huge and time consuming to set up, or they were kind of smaller and one-handed and just shit. I definitely think the one-handed setups aren't the way to go. After a little bit of time holding one of these, it's just a struggle. You start thinking more about just holding it up than you do about the actual shots. You start to get fatigued, and that doesn't make for a good filmmaking experience, a good camera operating experience. I think it's great to have something this small with a tiny camera, and then to go something bigger that's multi-handled that you can rig up on a shoulder rig and stuff like that, and you can get those shots all day long and get them well and be focused. I think that's my kind of problem with gimbals. I know other people have a similar issue with them, and I think these small ones have just been so shit up until recently that they've just not been worth it. I've just thought, let's see if I can balance my phone on this now. I've made my distaste of gimbal shots being the only shots people use. I've made that known, on Instagram and stuff like that. This isn't me kind of going back on that. This is just another tool that goes along with, having a tripod and having some handheld shots and things like that. This isn't a replacement for all of those things. I see. I'm undoing the wrong one. I've never had to balance a phone on a gimbal before. Balance that way. That's falling forward, so... Other features on this that I'm really liking are these little stop blocks. So I don't know if you can see that there. This little thing slides down and just like locks in place there, so that once you've got this balanced, you can put that out, lock it down. Everything's locked, but you've also got things marked, so that when you do then pull this back out, you just put it to the line and it should be balanced. That is really handy, although that wasn't balanced when I did that. So I'd say for a first time balancing that gimbal, it is pretty tight, pretty decent. Lock everything down, get this phone into a mode that I can record on, and how do you turn it on? I like that this has a screen as well. That was an annoyance from the other gimbal. I like it. I do really like gimbal shots. I just hate when they're the only shot someone uses. I sort of ranted about this relatively recently. There was an advert on Instagram and every single shot was a gimbal shot, and it was a studio setup, so it wouldn't have taken much to put a tripod shot in there, just something locked off. Maybe a little pan, instead of it all being like flowy, and it just kind of gets a little bit annoying. But I'm liking this. So now obviously you're going to get the bumpiness and the kind of a little bit of the twitchiness, because this is really, really light. This whole setup weighs nothing at all. But it's going to get you better footage than without it, you know, if you use it nice anyway. So that's kind of the unboxing of this and the quick setup of it. Really, I'd wanted to get a video of this made the other day. I put some time aside. I wanted to do a proper review on it, which I still will do, but unfortunately it arrived much later than expected and was delayed somehow for some reason. So yeah, Gene Potato Jet got his out before me. More people are going to see his anyway, whatever. But this has just been a little unboxing. I hope it's been at least a little bit interesting, and I'll see you in the next one.